Okay, today we're talking about lesson 5.10. Now I know we skipped module 5, lessons 8 and 9, but we're going to skip those two and we're going to go directly to lesson 10, okay? So in your problem set, you'll have to skip some pages, and that's okay. Today's learning goal is to be able to find the area of rectangles by drawing tiles and by multiplying, okay? Raise your hand if you've, actually give me a thumbs up if you've heard of the word tiles. What's a tile? Yeah. Think about, oftentimes we see tiles in the bathroom, like on the floor. Tiles are little square pieces that you put right next to each other to make an entire floor. Okay, so today we're going to be drawing tiles and also using multiplication to help us find the area of different rectangles. But first, let's talk about the problem of the day. Today we're going to take some math notes on what the difference is between a regular unit, a square unit, and a cubic unit. Okay, so let's write down thinking about units. Okay, now go ahead and write that down in your notebook. What is a regular unit? Like let's say 1 inch. What is an inch used to measure? Reagan?
1 dimension.
1 dimension, okay. Reagan, add on.
A one-dimensional unit of measurement.
Okay, yeah. A regular unit, like an inch, or a centimeter, or a foot, is used to measure distance, right? So go ahead and draw 1 unit. It's just a line, isn't it? Okay. Okay, so as we know, a regular unit, like 1 inch, or 1 centimeter, or 1 foot, is used to measure distance. Do you see how it just looks like a line? And only has 1 dimension, as Reagan mentioned. Now, what if we have a square inch, or a square centimeter, or a square foot? What is that used to measure? Everyone? Area. But what does 1 square inch actually look like? Now, we've talked about how many dimensions it measures. How many dimensions does it measure? 2. So how many dimensions do you think a square inch has? 2. It has a length and a width. So a square inch literally looks like a square. Okay. And finally, we've also talked about cubic units, such as a cubic inch, or a cubic centimeter, or a cubic foot. And what is that used to measure? Volume. But what does a cubic inch really look like? Or what does a cubic centimeter really look like? A cube, exactly. You know those unit cubes that you were using to build? That's what 1 unit cube looks like, or 1 unit centimeter. Okay, so go ahead and draw a picture to remind yourself that a cubic unit really looks like a cube. You're going to draw the rectangle A, right? And then you're going to show the tile. You can show that we could fit 2 on the width and 3 across. Okay, and again, we saw that by covering the rectangle with the square inches. How many units long was rectangle A? 3. Okay. How many units wide was rectangle A? 2. So if we counted all the tiles, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, how many tiles are there altogether? So how many square inches was the area? 6 square inches. Now, if you read the directions carefully, it tells you to use multiplication to confirm. So we know, so go ahead and write it underneath or next to your sketch. We know that to find the area, we do the length times the width. So what was the length here? How many square inches, or how many inches? 3. What was the width? How many inches? 2. So then the area is 6 square inches. Now I forgot to mention in part A that when we sketch the rectangles, we need to, and the tiles, we need to label them. So here we can show that how many tiles fit on the length, 3, and how many fit on the width. We had 2 here, and how much could fit here? Only 1/2. Okay, so make sure you label that it's 2 and 1/2. So how many units long was rectangle B? 3 units long. How many units wide was it? 2.5 units wide. So let's count how many square units we used all together. Here's 1, 2, 3, right? 4, 5, 6, and then how much was this one? Half, 2 halves, and 3 halves. So we had 6 plus 3 halves, didn't we? So that's 6 and 3 halves, otherwise known as 7 and 1/2 square inches. Okay, so go ahead and record that. And let's use multiplication to confirm it. We know that area is the same as length times width. So what was the length of our rectangle? Everyone? 3 whats? Wait, the length was square inches? 3 inches. What was the width? 2.5 inches. Can we multiply 3 times 1, 2.5? We need to convert it to improper fractions. So 2 and 1/2 written as an improper fraction is 5 halves. What's 3 times 5 halves? 15 halves, which when I simplify it becomes 7.5 units.